I was at Ohio State. I was finishing up my bachelor's degree, and I was shared a duplex, half a house. Had two other roommates, and we were all engineers, and we decided that we wanted to throw a Halloween party. And I'd never thrown a party before in my life. You have three engineers planning a Halloween party, and it's going to spiral out of control very quickly. And so, if you showed up at the Halloween party without a costume, the consequence was that you would get buried alive. And we told enough people that this was going to happen. And they told everybody they cared about to show up in costume, but they didn't tell everybody. Now, obviously, we're not going to just bury people alive. We're going to have a plan. So I designed and I built a coffin. I got some PVC pipe, and we ran an airline, 2-inch PVC pipe, and we ran an airline out the top of the coffin and up behind the bush, and so there would be air that would come in there, so no one would suffocate when we buried them alive. But if you were in the coffin, and the coffin wasn't buried too deep, once all the dirt was on top of the coffin, you could put your hand up through the hole and would reach up through the dirt on top of your grave. And one of the funniest things was that we were burying this one person alive, and soon his hand came up out of the dirt with the empty beer can, and he shook it and threw it away and snapped his fingers asking for another beer, which, of course, how can you resist? Give him another beer, and the beer descended back into the ground. My one roommate, who was dressed as Dracula, he takes a swig of something and he blows out, and this huge ball of fire erupts from his mouth. This was something I wanted to do, dressed as Frankenstein. He explained to me how to do it, and he said, be sure to spit the fluid outward, not up. So I got it. And I took the sip of Everclear and spit the fluid straight up. It all lit on fire and then came right back down onto my face, and it lit the makeup on fire. And I turned to the crowd, and they were all just staring at me like, and it was right about that time when I saw the flames licking up around my eyes from the pancake makeup. And I was just, because Frankenstein's face was on fire. And it was just about ready to think, stop, drop, and roll when somebody tackled me from behind and put my face out like a cigarette butt. But that Halloween party was so successful that people were asking us, you're going to throw another one, right? So, yes, by popular demand, we were going to throw another Halloween party. And what are we going to do? So, at this time, we had a French foreign exchange student living with us. And her name was Sabine. And we thought it would be perfect if she came to the Halloween costume as Marie Antoinette. And we were going to have to cut her head off. In order to do that, we needed a guillotine. You can't just go down to Guillotines R Us or Guillotines. Those stores don't exist. I designed a fully functioning guillotine. That second year, if you didn't wear a costume to this party, instead of getting buried alive, you would get your head cut off. So we'd bring people up, we'd explain to them, this is what's going to happen. Pull the blade up, have it come rattling down, trick mechanism, and we had a little basket, a little laundry basket with the back cut out, and so your head would fall down. You were suspended on bales of hay with your torso extended out, and you were supported by the bottom of the mechanism. And when that mechanism fell away, your whole torso would fall, and your head would just naturally fall into the basket that was lined with pillows. And so the effect was very cool. We ran out of people to cut their heads off, but the crowd was still thirsty. And so we heard the chant from the crowd, "Kill again, kill again, kill again." And then the chant morphed into "Gill again, gill again, gill again." And there was a commotion in the crowd, and somebody dressed like Gilligan from Gilligan's Island got shoved to the front. He said, "Okay, guess it's me." And so we had to cut Gilligan's head off. Eventually, we decided that it was unsafe to continue to use the guillotine. And some people said, "We ran out of firewood. What are you doing with the guillotine?" And I said, "You can burn it." And so the entire crowd, the mob, rushed forward and tore down the guillotine and burned it in a French Rebellion.